Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Timeout Tuesday with Elizabeth Yeager, independent Stampin Up demonstrator from Sydney, Australia. I don't know about you, but a lot of people will be very excited today because the annual catalogue has gone live today. I'm not sure if I'm getting any sound, a little bit, yeah. The annual catalogue, you can order from it today, and I'm going to show you one of the sets that I fell in love with when I first saw it. It's called Beautiful Gallery. And I have already maybe given you a sneak preview of this, but I want to show you. It's on page 52, 53. If you haven't ordered this one, this might inspire you to order it. These are home decor things that you can make with it, as well as cards. In this set, there is, I've gone dark, there we go. There's two stamp sets if you buy this suite. So one is called Beautiful Motifs, the other one's called Gallery Blooms. Quite different, but wonderful. And then you've got your embossing folder, your DSP, and you've got dies as well. These dies go with this one, I guess, and these ones go with this one. But you know, it can be mixed, and there's beautiful basic beige ribbon as well. So this is some of the things that you can make with it. Just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you 3 cards that I've made today. The first one I made for a presentation that I did at retreat recently, and it's called Thank You for Everything. And I love this card. I love its simplicity, and I just love the way that it came together. So what I have is a new in color card cover. I love this. It's one of my favorite colors. Now, what I've done is, pardon me for my croaky voice today. It is pretty croaky. Okay, oops, bent that. Right, so what I'm going to do is inside this card, you can see that there's nothing written, but there's this beautiful die cut sentiment down the bottom. So that's the first thing I'm going to put in. You can see that it got a little bit bent there, but all these pieces on this die cut sentiment all sort of pull up. So what I'm going to do is put that on the inside of the card first, and I do have my glue here. Let's put that on first. All right, because that's the inside of my card basically completed. But this sort of opens up, and yeah, I might put a tiny little bit of glue behind that one since it got bent a little bit. Okay, so that's the inside of my card. Now, the outside of my card, I used one of last year's in colors, Peach Pie. And what I've done is I've used one of the bits of DSP. I like this one. I should have brought the DSP in with me, but it's okay. This is one of the DSPs, and it's got Peach Pie on it. I've turned it over, and I've used let me grab this embossing folder for you. This embossing folder. Now, it is called Damask Designs, and it leaves a beautiful impression on the cardstock, any cardstock. So I'm going to place this on the peach pie like that. So let's do that. It's my, this is being a bit difficult this morning. Okay, so put it in the center of the peach pie. Okay, and you can see that it's sort of got a variegated color. And I discovered that you can actually do this with using cloud cover and using the Secret Sea ink and a blending brush lightly on it. you can still get the same effect. Now, I've used some Lost Lagoon, which I thought went really well with this. And I have made a strip. It looks like a bookmark, which you could make out of it. Let's get that on this piece. And then I'm going to turn that over and lay it on this piece. Okay, so it's going to go about there. Now, you could finish the card like that and just put a sentiment on it. But I thought this is one of the die cuts from Gallery Blooms, I think it's called, that one. Beautiful motifs, maybe it is. That I used this one from. We'll just check. Yep, it's this one here, the leaves. Do you see that? The leaves. So what I've done is I've cut a couple out, and I'm going to put one of these on. Actually, I'm going to get my hubby to bring me in my multi-purpose glue as well, because I just realized that this is easier to put on with multi-purpose glue. So it's going to go on like this on that. And then I've got some dimensionals here, and I'll put these on the back of this. If you haven't seen this little label set, it's called Mixed Labels. I kept passing it by, and then one day I stopped and looked at it, and let me show you. I just love the shapes in this. There's this banner one. There are these here, and they're beautiful. And I've used this one here, and then there's some other things as well. So that is just a gorgeous. It's just online purchase only. It's called Mixed Labels Dies. Oh, and I've got my mixed label die in the front because I've put some dimensionals on. Doesn't want to come out. There we go. Put another, I think I probably left the dimensional in there, but that's okay. So I've got this. Oh, there's the dimensional that came out. Right. But before I put that on, I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to gently I'll just take that little hairy bit off the end. Put a little bit, like a tiny, tiny dot of glue on some of the leaves just to hold it in place. So sometimes I use my fine one for this, but this is okay. Got a new bottle here, so it's fairly easy to get it out without having to do a lot of squishing and stuff on it. There we go, nearly done. And there, and just a little bit on these leaves, just something to hold it in place. It doesn't need too much. You could use glue dots as well. It depends how much you want to put on it. Oops, just dropped a little bit on the paper. I had my first scrapbook class on the weekend. Unfortunately, I was the only one who was able to turn up to it, but I actually was very pleased with what I was able to get done. I still held the class, so that's going on. Just get rid of that little bit of glue, and then I'm just going to put the dimensionals on. Take the backs off the dimensionals, I'll put that on. I think I'll put it down here this time. And in one of my bags, my hands are all sticking out. There we go. one of these bags. I think it's this one. These are the embellishments that go with this, and they're like a metal pressed flower. It's called pressed flower motifs, and it fits. I'm going to use one of these just up. What size will I use? Might use a bigger one this time. Pop that there. Okay, so let's just put that back there. It's an extra one. And then I'm just going to put some tape on the back and place it on the front of the card. So that is the first card today. Thank you for everything. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. My second card today was inspired by Karen Kadenza, no, Kovic, I think that's her name. Stampin' Design, Creative Stampin' Designs. And what am I doing first? I'm doing this one. Okay. So what I've done with this one is similar style and a sense to that. Is I got a back of Secret Sea. That's this. It's like a navy onto black, and then I've stamped in here and put some on, and then I've used cloud cover that I was telling you about that I did here with the embossing folder, but added a little bit of extra ink to it. So let's put this card together. I've got a couple here. Oh, and I'll show you this card afterwards, because that was a bit of a disappointment after I'd done it. So I embossed some of the gallery blooms on this one in white, and all I did was stuck that to the white with a little strip down both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to put that onto this. Okay, now I'm hoping that this piece is long enough. I don't think I've used the blends on this actually, so that's okay. We can do this one without blends. Yeah, it's just a teeny bit smaller. So what I'm going to do, this one went the whole length down, but this one will only go a part of the way down. So I'm going to center it on this. So just be slightly different. That is okay. No card needs to be the same. So I'm going to center that there. And then I'll get my scissors and I'll just trim off that little extra bit. I thought this was longer than it was, but that's okay. We will adjust the card as we go. Okay, so that's basically the front part of my card, and it's going to go on like that. Okay, so let's get that on. There we go. And that's almost the front of the card. So you can see that I have just a note. And I've stamped that on just a scrap piece of white. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. And then we can go from there. Okay. So this is again a very, very simple card. I'll just put just a note there. Okay. I think that's very straight. That's better. Just a note. And I just tipped off the edges at an angle. Okay, for inside, I have, and I should have brought a stump block in, but that's okay. I was going to bring in a stump block and show you what I did on the inside, because I need if you look at it, my Secret Sea as well as my stamp block. You can see what I've done here. So basically I stamped off the flower and then put the sentiment in. So, oh, thank you. Thank you. And my secret C. So I thought it was organized, but it wasn't really. But you know, that's what. Okay, so I've got that on my block. And what I'm going to do, if you have a look at this one, is you see when you stamp it off, it's sort of like almost like a grey color. So I'm going to stamp it off over here on my page. Actually, a bit of scrap paper, I could use that. Okay, let's just close this up for now. I just don't my secrecy is very juicy, so I'm just being very, very careful here because you can see it has gone a little bit on that. I'll show you what happens when that happens. So I've stamped it off and then I'm just going to put it like that on the side. Okay, now can I have that other block, please? Sitting there, thank you. I'm going to stamp thank you for everything, which is in the beautiful motifs. It's going to go in the middle. Thank you for everything. Okay, and let's turn it over. On, get my secret C. Yeah, I have a very, very juicy, Yeah, I will need that this time, I think, because it's going on full strength, like that. Just wet that off a little bit. Now I have a little bit of the DSP that I have been using, and I'm going to stick that on the bottom. So let's do that. And you can see that I have actually covered this bit in. Turn it over. And place it on the inside. And that's my card. So I made this card last week. I was very frustrated with myself. So I had it made and I set it down, and do you see what I did? I told you my secret C was very juicy. It somehow got on the stamp block and it left a mark on it. So I made it again. Now, one thing I did add to this card are these are with Storybook Friends. They're called Antique Pearls, and they look beautiful on this. So let's just get 2 or 3 of these and we'll put them on. Okay, so I'll put that one up there, that one there. You can always wash your blocks under just cold water as well. That takes all the ink off them if you don't happen to have anything else with you. And that's my second card. Isn't that a pretty card too? I just love these colours together. They're really, really nice. Okay, so my final card for today, in whizzing through this, is this one. Okay, so what I did is, this is one of the DSPs, and it comes in a square, 6x6 square of the roses, and I cut it a little bit smaller, and I used this. Okay, so I used Mossy Meadow, and it's again another one of these cards. So here's my card front. I cut it about a 3cm piece off. This is the DSP. You can see that the other side of this is, oops, like this, and this is part of it as well. So that's how they go together. That's part of it. But I embossed this And I'm going to use it on my card now. So it's got, on the other side, it's got sort of 2 shades of green. And let's put this one on first. Put it that way up. I like the fleur-de-lis, or whatever it is called. This way up. Oops. Hasn't stuck yet. But there we go. Now, got a piece of very vanilla that is cut to fit the other side inside. So let's get that. And pop that on the inside. I'm going to center it like that. So you can see that that's just the inside of the card, and you can write there. Now to do the front of the card. So I've got another piece of my DSP, and it's going to go on top here like that. So it almost looks like it's got a green panel in the middle. So let's do that next. Okay. Pop it on. Again, these are very, very quick cards to put together. And then I have my DSP, and I am going to put that on. I'm going to actually line it up with that edge. Now I notice there's a little bit of that line there, so I'm just going to very carefully cut that off. Some tape on the back of this, and I'm going to layer it on top here so that its edge is right. If you have trouble seeing what you're doing, when you're caught up, and you can see that you've got it right at the edge, like that. Okay, now I thought using a little bit of Mossy Meadow and start thinking of you, that would be a really good thing to do. And rather than put it on dimensionals, what I've done is I've just put, oops, make sure I've got the right side. I'm going to put about half of it on the card, like that. Okay. And you're almost finished. And I've got one of these pressed flowers, which I'm going to put on the thinking of you. I might put it, yeah, I'll put it this side. Okay. There it is. Okay. Now I've got one more thing. I've got a basic beige bow that I have made here. This ribbon ties very beautifully, and I'm going to just add it to the roses down here. Okay. So I've got my glue dots, and let's get this on. I'm going to put a couple on because I want to make sure it stays nice and firm. And I'll just put that on like that. Okay, so that is card number 3 today. So let me show you my 3 cards. Got Thinking of You, that was the last one I made. Just a Note, and Thank You for Everything. 3 slightly different colors. I guess these 2 would be most alike, but it's such a beautiful set. I don't think I've even started to use it to its full extent yet. So I'm looking forward to playing with this. It's in the new catalogue, so please definitely go and have a look at it and enjoy playing with it. I know that when people saw it in real life, they went, "Oh, wow." And it makes beautiful scrapbook pages as well. So, anyway, that's me for today. And I hope that you can join me next week. I'm going to do one of the online sets next week, which I think you might enjoy as well. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye.